Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I had a viewer request the other day to show how I would attach my dangles that I made that have these lobster claws on them onto the spines of a journal. So what I thought I would do, as I'm in the middle of some rather big projects at the moment, so I thought I'd just take some time, and there's one method that I haven't even tried yet. I've only ever done 3 or 4 tassels or dangles on journals before, so I thought I'll do this method, which will be one way that you could do it. But then I have grabbed a few of my collection of journals that I've been gifted from other people, so I can show you other ways that you'd be able to attach these as well. I'm sure there's heaps and heaps of other ways as well that you could look up on YouTube and that. But these are the main ways that I would tend to do it and have done it before. So we will start with this method first. Now what I have done, because I don't really have time or journals sitting around to do this with, is I've just got some of my suspension file folder, because that's what I'm working with at the moment, and just a scrappy piece of paper. So this scrappy piece of paper is going to be my signature. So if you don't know, a signature is a group of pages. If you look in books, usually the pages are bound in groups, and that group of pages is what a signature is. So I'm going to pretend this is a group of pages and it's my signature, which I will bind into my cover, which is the folder. So I'm going to do that with you. So I've just got some crochet thread here, which I use a lot of to bind smaller signatures. See if I can thread it. It's always the tricky part. Yes, no, yes. I've just been putting a whole lot of matte medium onto a project that I'm doing, so I'm waiting for that to dry, so I thought I would jump on and do this while I'm waiting. So what I'm going to do is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Now usually I'd measure it all out, but I can't be bothered, so I want to put the 3 holes in my signature and in my cover. So one in the middle there. We have one down the bottom about 1 inch in, and one up the top about 1 inch in. So that's the 3 holes on the spine there, 1, 2, 3, ready to bind our signature in with. So when I'm binding my signature in, I usually go through the middle to begin with. So we will do that. So what I'll do is go through the paper first. I want to keep it a bit loose here at the moment as well. So I'll leave a long tail there so I don't pull my string through the holes. And I'm going to go back through the cover. Then I'm going to go through the top cover hole, but I'm not going to go through the signature hole yet. Now what I'm going to do is make another hole, just not quite 1 centimetre above that top hole that we did before. So you can see here we've got the top hole that we've already done of the 3 there, and I'm coming out just above it there with my string. Now I'm going to take this back in through that top hole, like so. Now I will get my signature here. Now I'm going to run it right down to the bottom. So it's generally just the usual 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but I'm creating an extra loop of string up the top there to hang our dangle from. So now I'll go through the bottom cover. Now go back through the middle to finish things off. Back through the middle of the signature. At this stage you can take your needle off. We make sure that we've got one of the tails underneath that middle string over this side and one of the tails under the middle string over that side. And this is where we can tighten. So we just pull it to make sure that this is taut. We check that all of this is taut. It's looking good enough. And then we can tie our double knot. So that's what the spine will look like. We've got the 2 strings there that have tied our signature in, and then we've got the extra little loop just there that we can attach a little crab claw to if we like to. So what I will do is grab one of my plainer dangles here, and there's my crab claw. I always call them crab claws, get my crustaceans mixed up. Your lobster claw. So we want to put that underneath or hook it onto that string. And now because the string's a bit tight, it is a little fiddly. So I'm just going to pull it out with my needle. Open up my little lobster claw and then just hook that over my string. And then we've got our dangle attached like that. So that's one very simple way to attach a dangle, especially to your single signature journals. And that works all right. You definitely don't want a really heavy dangle on one of these though, unless you've got some really thick string and your cover is quite sturdy. So I hope that has helped on how you would attach these. I like to have removable dangles because I find them quite annoying on journals. I do like them though, they're very pretty. So, now I'll show you some of the others that I have here. So this one is my ring bound journal that I made it's like a Halloween journal, and you can go attaching it to one of these. Now the lobster claws I have aren't going to fit over these rings. You could attach them to the lace, but that would be a bit flimsy. But you could do what I've done here with this tassel and just attach your claw to a bulb pin like that, and then attach the bulb pin to the rings. That's how I would probably do that. So I'll take that off now. So you can apply them even to your ring bound journals. I have this gorgeous little golden book journal here that the lovely Pam from Just Add Lace made for me, which I absolutely adore. Look at all that gorgeous lace. And she has attached her dangle on this, putting an eyelet in the spine, which is a method that I do quite regularly. Well, the 4 times that I've done it, if you call that regular. And she's used a beautiful ribbon bow here that she has put through the eyelet and out the top and then tied into this bow. And she uses the ribbon to attach one of these big lobster claws that has this nice heavy dangle on. So that's another way that you can do it. First method I use has been used here by the lovely Ruth that gave me this awesome scrappy journal that I want to do some collaging in. She's attached this beautiful dangle here, and that is on a lobster claw, and it is through the thread that she used to bind the journal in. So a similar method to the one that I just showed you. And that's worked beautifully for that one. Again, single signature journal and a nice light dangle for that one. Now I have this one that I made as a sample book. used wallpaper to cover this, and I have tied my signatures in so they're not sewn through, but I've put 2 eyelets in and my thread goes across the top like that. So of course you could use your lobster claw there to attach. This is a really little lobster claw too. You can get bigger ones as I showed previously. And you could attach it on there like that. And then this method I used for my mushroom journal here. Again, you've got the eyelet that goes through your book cover up the top here. And I have looped, you can loop like Pam did your ribbon, or you could do thread. But what I've done is looped some of the same chain that I took off of my broken jewellery around and hooked it together. So that's made a loop through the eyelet. That was quite fiddly to do because my chain kept falling through and I wanted it quite sort of tight. So it was a bit fiddly to do, but I did manage, and I think that looks really cool as well. The only thing is the chain might damage the top of your book cover depending. But I really like the look of that one. And again, that makes this one really easy to take on and off. And this is another one that I've made just with some broken jewellery. And that can just hook onto any one of the little chain bits there. And I love the way that looks too. So they are the ways that I would be using the dangles that I made the other day. I'd be hooking them on in one of those number of ways. As I said, there are probably other ways as well. Hope that was helpful to some people who were wondering how I was going to go adding them to my journals in the future. Heaps of fun to do, and it's just such a lovely way to dress up your journal as well. And as I said, on these little lobster claws, I find they're not so bulky up the top here. So you can put your journal up there and there's not too bulk behind here to leave it on while you're using your journal, or you can just remove it very easily as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you again soon. Bye.